I know this was very short noticed. I was actually going to leave this until the weekend, but I'll have a few bits going on. I was going to wait, generally speaking, I knew there could have been more, but we'll kind of jump straight into this. I'm sure a lot of you have probably seen what happened yesterday. With a certain video I uploaded, so I'm going to have to use kind of secret messages here, guys, because at the moment I'm in kind of arguments with them, with YouTube at the moment, because of a certain video yesterday over what's going on in the world, even though there was nothing on the video to actually state that, because it was made in 2014. A video in 2014 they say is breaching guidelines. So I'm actually in the process of fighting with them. I'll actually get into a bit more detail on that as well. I kind of wanted to do a live stream just because it's a little bit different. I'm probably going to do more of them, and I have something really special coming this weekend, guys. Something that I've been working on, but I just feel it's probably the right time to actually bring it, probably Friday or Saturday. But just to get straight in, like obviously when you see the main kind of topic of this video is censorship, which is happening beyond belief. I've actually spoke to a couple of different people, a couple of different Christian YouTubers, and I see the censorship and they're getting strikes all over the place. There's been a lot of strikes done. One in particular, you have the Watchman on the wall. Videos were made last year, are being pulled up now, and then his channels were getting strikes, and he had to make it a separate channel, which is what I did. I'll drop it in the description below, just so you can kind of see it there. I kind of have it as a background channel, just in case anything happens to this one. But they came back, obviously, guys, and I'm not sure if anyone has seen it, the video that I would have put up yesterday. As I said, it was made back in 2014. Was the original, and they were saying it's breaching, and I asked them how come it's breaching, but they couldn't give me an answer, and they said that it's totally going to be gone. Yeah, I just seen it there, Cheryl. They restrict everything. I'm actually looking at what's going on. They delete subscribers. They do all sorts of stuff. I've heard it kind of from other people as well. Even with this, we're trying to get this out. They restrict up as much as possible. We nearly have to change our wording, guys. You know, when we're talking about what's going on, we just say what's happening in the world right now from last year, and a certain way that they want to try to get better. All of this, there's all secret wording, but it's getting worse and worse and worse. Between that and the cancel culture, or the PC culture, it's getting worse and worse. It's slightly diabolical what they're doing at the moment. But I just said I'd kind of give you a slight update. This one's just going to be a short video, guys. I wanted to keep it pleasant, but I'm not sure whether any of you have actually seen. I mean, if this is not an end time sign, I don't know what is. Whether you've seen the volcano in the Congo. It was a massive one. Massive volcano went off. These are just signs that we look at, guys. What are we saying? Administrator restricted mode. Hold on, guys. Let me see. Can I change that? YouTube, this technology and me don't go very well, guys. You can see it. I don't know why they had that in. Yeah, they have me on. They have the channel on restriction mode at the moment. There's no strike on the channel, but they have it in restriction mode, but they don't say what for. I don't know why the comments would be an issue. No idea. YouTube. Right, yeah, so that's why I wanted to kind of fill these in, guys. I know a lot of these have been very faithful to the channel. I know I had a bit of a quiet period, but I've kind of put my foot down now. I'll be getting more and more out. And what I'll do is, guys, I'm going to kind of open up, I'll probably just throw it on the community tab to give viewers the chance on what you want to see, because this is obviously for yous. More importantly, this is all about encouragement. It's trying to get the channel right to where it's both encouragement and warning. As a good friend of mine, Matt, which a lot of you probably would have seen before, it's trying to get the balance right. and that's what we want this channel to be all about. It's to encourage you, obviously to keep our eyes open for all the signs of what's happening, but most importantly, while we're watching those things, we obviously need to be living our lives and living it to the fullest extent which we get through Christ. That's the main kind of objective here. This is for you. I'm gonna try to chop and change, but if I can say this, and I'll throw it up probably tomorrow or Wednesday. I'm looking to try to do more. I have a couple of guys. Obviously, you've seen the video I did with Aaron in God a Minute, and he has a Discord app which is really, really good, guys, for connecting with other kind of Christians and believers. I've been talking to Tyler in Generation 24, who's another great guy as well. But what I'm going to bring this week, guys, one of the biggest, hottest topics at the moment that most people are talking about is the whole UFO phenomenon. Now, I'm not talking about the green Martians, anything like that, but I really, just a revelation in Luke 21 on what exactly it is. It's such a powerful little scripture, and I'm going to bring it to you. It's going to be a clear message. I'm undecided on whether to do it live or whether to do a normal video so I can get it through. It's going to be a strong message, but also hope. That's the biggest part, is that everything that's happening in the world at the moment, it's not coincidence. There's no such thing as coincidence. God is in full control of everything that is happening. We as believers, and we as most of us, you guys watching as well, are watchmen. Are looking out for the signs, and that's why are searching out people who are actually trying to give you information on what to be looking for, what signs are happening. We're all anticipating this big event, but the biggest one that I feel that's going to be next is this whole disclosure. And I'm going to kind of bring it from a biblical sense and some real strong scriptures on exactly what they are, because they are mentioned in Scripture. Luke 21, when it talks about, when men's heart fail from fear, from what they see coming from above. It's one of the most impactful scriptures. One of the most impactful scriptures. It's such a strong scripture, and there's so much within two little verses. And I'm just saying, guys, Shalmar, I know the volume's slightly low. It's a new mic, but my phone is not really great, so I'm going to just try to talk slightly louder, and hopefully you can hear me a little bit better. But if you are only coming onto the stream, guys, I was just filling in everybody else and what happened and how we are being censored. And the main people who are being censored are believers, guys. They're actually classing Christian content as, it's not good for the community guidelines. If you search it up on YouTube, you'll actually see it. They call it inappropriate content, and this is for kind of Christian content. This is where it's going. Cancel culture is now the most predominant move that's going on the planet. And I've seen it there, Shiv. You've kind of come across their aliens are fallen angels and demons, and for me, I would believe the exact same thing. They're not little green Martians. It's something I am going to kind of bring a good video now this week. I'm in the process of, I've put pen to paper, so I'm just want to get the presentation right, because I want to make sure that it actually impacts. It's something that I never really looked into too much. It's not something I did, but God has changed my heart over the last couple of months, and really in the last 2 weeks, and now I see in Scripture where and why He is going to be using these, and I'll bring that to you. I'm hoping by Friday/Saturday I'll get that video. But the signs, guys, are everywhere. It's undeniable now at this point. I hear the phrase, probably the best phrase I've heard, is that even the blind can see the signs of what's happening in the world. It's very hard to deny that the things that are happening are coincidence. But yes, I always say God is in full control of everything that is happening. If you're saying on my last video that I put up, you'll see the other day, the dream, guys. I'm not a guy that would do a huge amount on dreams, never have. But Scripture is clear to us that sometimes God speaks to dreams, to the individual and to the collective. And because of that, now I see in Scripture clearly what the plan is. Guys, I'm not sure if most of you have actually probably heard of L.A. Marzulli. He's another guy that you should look up. He is the best on that subject, and clearly what they're for. Some people don't really like it because you're going into Genesis 6 and whether it be Nephilim and all that, which is the narrative that I follow. I truly believe that that's true. But what's coming next, guys, and what follows with it? Not only will you see the little bits that's in the air, It's the absolute deception that will come with what's coming. Now, yeah, it is. I can see, Donny, there what you're saying. It is clear. I mean, we have to be honest. If we cannot see what's happening all around us, we need to ask ourselves, is it a question of that we don't want to see it, or are we spiritually blind? And that's not to be offensive towards people, because I have a lot of good friends who will be believers, but they just don't see this kind of stuff, and we have to pray for them that God opens up their eyes, that they do begin to see the signs. It's not that you live in fear, guys. I mean, when we look at all these people who are watching the signs, it's not to stop you living life, because we were promised life through Christ. Christ gave us life and life abundantly, but to keep our eyes watched and gazed on when Christ could come back, while still occupying, and still the main principle is to share the gospel and get the gospel news out, that because of Christ we have life, because of his death, burial and resurrection, we are fully justified and redeemed in him. That's the main principle. It's the reason why I do this. Just to let you know, guys, this was never something I had planned to do in terms of YouTube and doing all this type of stuff. I was quite happy in a bubble of, yes, I believe in God, and I love God, and I love Christ and what he's done for me. But I was happy in terms of my job, money making, trying to get the money, typical sales. But when God wakes you up, he wakes you up. And we're here, what I'm trying to do is to create a community of self, where we all kind of slightly think the same. Yes, we'll have difference of opinions, because iron sharpens iron, but essentially it's to build us up, to encourage us, and most of all, to keep our eyes open together. As I say, guys, what I'll do, obviously it's something I'm looking to do, is to bring that video during the week. I'm hoping by the end of the week you'll have it. It'll be probably one of my longer ones. I don't like having videos that are kind of a half an hour, 45 minutes long, so I'll be trying to cramp it in, but get the main points out. But also what I'm looking to do is to collaborate with other watchmen, because that's what this is all about, guys, is to bring as much good content as I can, scriptural content as I can, which is obviously fundamental, and also then the science and some of what I would call the hobby. Would be like a hobby to me, is watching the science and keeping our eyes on what's happening. What I would ask, the only thing I'd ever ask of you, is obviously your prayer, which is the most important, because at times this is never easy, and it can have a physical effect, because we're all about trying to get the best we can out to you guys, to encourage you, to build you up, to help you watch, and your prayers is the most important thing that we can ask as what we would call content creators and Christian YouTubers. Something I'll throw out there as well for you, my top 5 YouTube channels, which I'll probably do maybe next week, or just at the very end of this week, to get you guys over there to actually watch some of their stuff, to encourage you. One of my favourite ones, I'll tell you, one of my favourite ones, who I won't kind of put on that list, because most of you probably know, is Alan Parr from The Bee. Amazing. Most of you should just go check him out, guys. He's so good. What I'll say to you guys, don't be discouraged. They can censor and they can kind of put a hold on us as much as they want, but we will keep going, we will keep pushing, and we will keep spreading the gospel. If you want, guys, what I'll do, I can't actually do it at the moment, because YouTube has kind of restricted me in this as well. I'll put up the backup channel, just if you want to just to subscribe to it, just to have it there, just in case anything does happen to this down the line, because I have some controversial stuff that's coming up that they may not be happy with, and I have to use some lingo and some different language, just so they don't cut me off. So I'll throw that in the description for people, so you'll be able to go to it. But guys, again, remember, regardless of what happens, what's going on in the world, what they throw at us, we were told, and Christ said it himself, we'll be hated by everybody because of him. And I could see there, guys, I can see somebody's in the comment section. Yes, you're along those lines, which is one of the reasons they stopped it yesterday. But I still don't understand, because the video was made in 2014. The video was made in 2014. Was there something in that video that showed that they knew about it beforehand? I don't know. I'll leave that up to you. But we're going to have to be wiser and kind of, sneaky with how we actually word what we want to word without getting closed down, because they are pointing. I mean, I had the argument yesterday with them, and they said they'd review it, and 2 minutes later it was reviewed, and it was a 9-minute video, and it was just gone. They said no, it's gone, and I could never even get that video again, because once they delete it, they delete it fully off YouTube, so it's gone. I should have probably put the link up for one of them. I actually have to go try find it there. I'll probably post it on the community tab, guys, for you to go watch if you haven't watched it. Tom Horn, amazing when it comes to the mark of the beast. Some of his info and his knowledge over the years of study and research is man, it's just the best. It's second to none. You have your L.A. Marzulis and you have your Gary Stearmans. Most of you guys probably know them. I mean, guys, as I say, prayer is probably the biggest thing I would ask you. You don't have to give me loads of time, but just a couple of minutes prayer, just for God to drop the ideas, you know, the creativeness, to be able to put down in words and intellectualize the message that He wants to get across in these last days. If what I'll do, guys, because that's kind of really the main point, if you have any questions there, what I'll do is I'll leave it for a couple of more minutes. If you have any questions you want me to answer, because I know we're not in person, so I'll give you the chance to ask a couple of questions before we finish this up. Donnie, you're right, don't ever take it. I see Karina there. I hope you're doing well, Karina. Let me check, let me get this up, guys. It's good. That's a good scripture. I see it through up in John 8:32, and ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. Scripture we shouldn't forget. Man, they really have. I can't actually do anything on this. They won't let me edit any of the settings. Yeah, they won't do it. There you go, guys. It's that time. I mean, we were told that this stuff was going to happen. Yeah. I see a place to share. I see that. I mean, I'm lucky enough, obviously with my family. I know, just to answer you there, it seems so little people in Ireland know what's going on. It's, in times, it's quite taboo here. Obviously, I have my family, we talk about it all the time, obviously my wife, and then I have a good friend of mine, Matt, who's up in Dublin, where I used to live, who I would talk with on a regular basis about everything that's going on, all the signs, everything. But generally speaking, from the pulpit, the churches, it's not something that we would see a lot of. If we brought this topic up about end times, it's quite taboo, they would shut it down. They kind of say it's more should be left to Bible study. And sometimes I can agree some of the hard topics, but generally speaking, talking about Christ returning should be at everybody's pulpit. Every preacher, pastor should be talking on this and preaching on this, just to prepare people for what could be coming down the line. What I'll say as well, guys, I know there was a short notice on doing this stream. The next one I'll do, I'm in the process of trying to get some new equipment, mics. I'm going to try to get a real camera if the funds come in, new laptop, backdrops, everything, to make this as pleasant to the eyes, to the ears, and then obviously some creative videos as well, which really bring across the message. I know some of them are quite hard. I had one up there from Vody, which gave some kind of feedback on both ends, but it's good to have topics and have preaching that provokes our thoughts, and then we should be able to talk to each other and communicate with each other as best as possible. Something I would love to do as well is to go live with you guys in terms of maybe a Zoom call, try to bring it down to 10, 12 people, which once I have the new laptop and have the new little kind of bits and bobs, it's something I will do with you guys, and we can really connect together so I can get to know you, you can get to know me on a better basis. That's really it, guys. I'll try to keep it short here. 20 minutes is about enough. I will give you kind of more notice what's coming on Friday and Saturday, guys. It's something that it shouldn't be missed. when you're looking at what's happening and the disclosure that's coming, the disclosure they gave last year on, you know, some of the, you know, the UFOs, what they call them, or flying objects that they can't recognize. I'm going to show you scripturally where that is and what it's going to cause down the line. I'm hoping by Friday or Saturday I have it all done, and I'm going to bring that to you as best as possible. It's one of those messages that has to be shared everywhere. So pray for me that I can get this down properly, and that I can intellectualize it to you properly, and that will have an impact on people that listen, and it will give some answers on the powers of the heavens. Guys, as I always say, God is always in control, and keep that faith. Until next time, I love you and leave you, as we say here, and I'll see you on the other side. Thank you, Karina. I still see you there. YouTube has totally bleeped everything up. Yes, God does win in the end. Sorry about this, guys. I'm going to end it now.